Hey folks, I'm standing here with Mary Margaret Valines, who, what's your title here? At
Development Director.
Development Director at the Kentucky Repertory Theater. We're standing in front of the old stage, an old vaudeville stage. The real action is happening downstairs where they're performing right now. They're practicing for their fall season, or would you call this the winter season?
We are calling it the holiday season. These are the first of the holiday productions that'll take us up to Christmas.
You have 4 productions coming up starting next Friday, this is Thanksgiving week, right? It's amazing that we have this here in Horse Cave, Kentucky. It's a very small town, and yet this is a professional theater. And this is my first experience with theater was here at this place when I was a kid, and we do field trips here. So I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about the history of the theater, and also about the kind of educational function that Horse Cave Repertory Theater. It's actually now called the Kentucky Repertory Theater.
That's right, it is.
But I knew it as the Horse Cave Theater growing up. Go ahead.
These buildings that we are in were constructed in about 1910. They replaced a very beautiful earlier Victorian building that was lost to fire. They were originally mercantile stores. Then in 1977, then Horse Cave Theater was formed. And we used these 2 buildings to create the larger theater downstairs. That was 36 seasons ago. And we've had Warren Hammock and Pamela White spent 25 years of their lives absolutely dedicated to this theater.
I remember both of those folks because, you know, again, as a student, even as a junior high school student coming over here, watching Shakespeare productions, both of Warren and Pamela were instrumental in those.
They were wonderful. They were both fabulous directors themselves and fabulous actors, and the level of the theater was always just stellar. It's incredible to have theater of this professional level in a remote area like that. It's very, very rare.
Growing figure of Marley's Golf.
You have young people, again, my first exposure to any kind of drama was here at the Horse Cave Theater, and I know that a lot of young people actually come here, I don't know about a lot, but some young folks are getting their acting chops right here.
That's right. There are many people who have stories like you, who came here and saw their first live, usually their first professional production on our stage, have taken an interest in theater and continued to at least attend. Many of them got interested enough to actually become active in theater here. So for many years we have had theater classes and workshops, opportunities for young people to actually perform in youth productions, and even occasionally in fully professional productions when they get to the level that they're able to do that. And that has really touched the lives of a lot of young people. There's some wonderful ones from here. We have about 9 people who have gone through our youth program that have gone on to the Governor's School for the Arts. We have roughly 15 fairly recent graduates, like in the last 5 or 6 years, who have gone on to really prestigious theater programs, mostly across the eastern United States. A couple of them have just graduated recently. I know of one who's working on a sitcom that she has a regular part in. We know of others that are still very active in stage theater, and we have a young man here right now rehearsing downstairs right now who followed that pattern, Governor's School for the Arts, a fine theater program, and now he's returned here and is still performing again with us. It's a wonderful thing to have happen.
His face just inches away from Scrooge, and he peels back the flesh of his skull like a banana and howled at the old man. Ah!
We're here in the men's dressing room at the Kentucky Repertory Theater. I'm talking to Brent Morrison, one of the actors here. You've been in many productions over the years, right? Mary Margaret and I were talking about the big role that the theater serves in the community, especially for education. My first theater experience ever was coming to a production of Shakespeare here when I was in school. We both grew up in Barron County.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience here over the years.
It was a great outlet for arts education for me, and really gave me the entire platform to take off and do the career that I wanted to, because my high school growing up never had any arts program, theater, drama, didn't really hear about any of it except for this gym right in the heart of Horse Cave. You got to come over and really eat it up and get your full serving.
What was your first production that you saw here?
My first production I saw here was Romeo and Juliet, of course, and it was a field trip. Came in just like every other day, got to tour the backstage, and I just was amazed that people got to do this for a living.
What productions have you been in, and what do the people have to look forward to this season, this 2012 holiday season?
I've been able to be a part of a lot of wonderful productions here and in Pittsburgh and different places because of this theater. And specifically, some of my favorites are Hamlet and, of course, Hamlet. But
did you play Hamlet?
Yeah, I did, of course. Of course I did. What are you talking about? No, but the holiday season is great. It's a repertory of several great shows, and it really has a piece of something for everybody. Marley's Christmas Carol is a different take on Christmas Carol, and it's darker but hilarious. A great show for a family and adult humor in it as well. Little Women is a great musical, beautiful, great story, and really family bringing it for the season holidays to come together. And then, of course, Yes, Virginia is a great children's show specifically for kids, and that's who's doing it, which is great.
What's the general plot of the Yes, Virginia? I think it's based on Yes, Virginia, There's a Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's exactly right, where she writes to the Sun editor, which is myself, the grumpy Krusty in the show, they say, who, if there is a Santa Claus, because all her friends are telling her that, she's getting old enough to know that there isn't, but there is. So she gets to find out for herself that there is still Santa Claus and there's still Christmas cheer and love to be had in the holiday season.
Wonderful. I think you mentioned 3. There's one more, and that's the David Sedaris spinoff. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What's the title of it?
Season's Greetings, I believe. And that's a one-man show, and it's really one person getting to talk about their hopes and dreams and writing Christmas cards and letters, some like that. The ones that I know the best are the 3 that I'm in, getting to jump around and do the different shows every day, which is a great experience as an actor to be able to do one show, turn around, do another character, turn around and do another character as well. So it's great. It's really a blessing.
So you're taking a little break during rehearsals right now, right?
Yeah.
And you're about to go back out here real soon to rehearse.
For Jacob Marley's Christmas Carol, which I actually play 9 characters in that show. And it's just 4 actors in it. No costume changes, very simple, but they do the storytelling themselves. And it's a great show. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for taking a little bit of time from your busy rehearsal schedule. We'll let you get back out here and do the real business.
Thank you very much.
But it's good to see another Barron County boy made good, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
More Go Local is coming up.
When they needed someone to come in, I jumped at it because the obvious.
All right, so folks, we're here in the lobby of the Kentucky Repertory Theater. I'm talking with Ken Haley. Ken, he's been here for a very short time, but he's making a big impact. Ken, you've lived in New Orleans, you've lived in New York, and now you've moved to the provinces. I'm a product of these provinces, but it must be kind of strange having lived in cosmopolitan places, but here you are in Horse Cave, Kentucky. Could you talk to us a little bit about what the theater has meant to you and what you see as the future for the theater and just what it's like to live in Horse Cave?
Well, it's been great because I've always said that I can live either in a huge town or a tiny one, and this fits the latter, of course.
No doubt.
It's the middle-sized towns I have a problem with.
Yeah.
But I landed at this theater last year to do a show, and when they needed someone to come in, I jumped at it because obviously the space. It's an American gym. It's a theater that we don't see the likes of anymore. It's a permanent 3/4 round theater. It was built for rotating repertory. We don't see a lot of these. One of my old college professors did an article for USA Today calling this one of the best 10 places to see plays outside of New York.
Isn't that amazing?
In the country. And so how can you pass up a chance to work in a place like that?
Right.
We are in the midst of what we've called this year a reboot, trying to refit the theater so that we can find a good way of working. we've incorporated bringing in professional actors from the likes of New York City, regional theaters from Chicago. We've had St. Louis, we've had Nashville, we've had Louisville, we've had St. Louis represented from the professional communities there. We also work with the semi-professional groups that are in Louisville and Nashville, along with the local professors from Western who have made a big splash here. Craig Taylor and Jeffrey Beard work here regularly.
So this is your first full year here.
This is the first full year
What
here.
do you anticipate for the future?
We really want to redevelop this as a small but major regional theater again. It has been one of the great summer theaters in American theater history, so we hope to get back to that. We actually are listed as the state repertory theater of Kentucky. Kentucky has 3 state theaters. We are one of them, obviously Actors Theater being one of them, us, and there's a community theater in eastern Kentucky who has the community theater.
That might be in Prestonsburg, I think. I'm not sure. Ken, it's a great place. Every time I walk through these doors, as I did when I was a kid, I feel like I've entered a new world, you know.
It's a great place to get your first introduction to theater. It's a great place if you live around here to see theater. We have something going all the time.
The first show is coming up right here after Thanksgiving.
Right. It's
so,
Little Women, the Broadway musical.
And then they're just
And
running.
then Jacob Marley's Christmas Carol, Yes, Virginia, based on the Yes, Virginia, There's a Santa Claus Letter. And then something for the more mature audiences, which is David Sedaris' The Santaland Diaries and Season's Greetings is the companion.
Come on into Horse Cave. Big city drama. Right here in a small town, right?
That's it.